Guys, Bryan Okwara proposes to Sonia Uche. From the very beginning, this love story did not start with applause. It started with silence, whispers, and a lot of unanswered questions. A story that began quietly, grew under pressure, survived public scrutiny, and today has blossomed into a bold declaration of forever. This is the story of Bryan Okwara and Sonia Uche, a journey that reminds us that love does not always come when life is perfect. Sometimes it comes when the heart is rebuilding. Before Bryan Okwara came into the picture, Sonia Uche had already lived a love story that many admired from afar. Her relationship with Maurice Sam was one that captured attention, trended effortlessly, and made fans believe in celebrity romance. They were seen as compatible, supportive, and deeply connected. But as life often proves, not everything that looks perfect on the outside survives the storms behind closed doors. When the breakup finally happened, it hit Sonia Uche hard. Beyond the emotional pain, there was the public weight of heartbreak. Every move she made became a topic of discussion. Every silence was interpreted. Every smile was questioned. She was expected to grieve publicly, explain privately, and still remain strong in the eyes of millions. The end of that relationship didn't just break a bond, it opened the door to criticism, judgment, and unsolicited opinions. For Sonia, the aftermath was not easy. Healing in private while hurting in public is a burden only the strong can carry. Many expected her to rush back, others wanted reconciliation at all costs, while some simply enjoyed watching the drama unfold. In all of this, Sonia chose silence, growth, and self-preservation. She focused on her craft, her peace, and rebuilding herself one day at a time. Then, unexpectedly, Bryan Okwara emerged. At first, it didn't look like love. It looked like companionship, support, friendship, a calm presence at a time when Sonia needed grounding more than excitement. Bryan did not come with noise or public declarations. He came with consistency. He came with patience. He came when Sonia wasn't looking for another love story, but for healing. When rumors of their closeness began circulating, the critics wasted no time. Some accused Sonia of moving on too fast. Others blamed Bryan for stepping into unfinished business. There were claims that the relationship was a rebound, a distraction, or even a publicity stunt. Social media became a courtroom where everyone had an opinion, yet no one truly knew the full story. Despite the noise, Bryan stayed. He did not respond to critics with words, but with actions. He stood by Sonia quietly, respecting her past while building a future. He allowed her to heal at her pace. He loved her in a way that did not compete with yesterday, but complemented tomorrow. Sonia, on her part, had to face her own fears. Trusting again after heartbreak is never easy. Loving again requires courage, especially when the world is watching and waiting for you to fail. But slowly, something beautiful happened. Laughter returned, peace followed, flourishing replaced fear. What began as uncertainty turned into reassurance. As time passed, fans began to notice a change. Sonia looked happier, more settled, more confident. Bryan appeared fulfilled, grounded, and proud. Their bond grew stronger, not louder. It became evident that this was not a rushed decision, but a carefully built connection. Still, the doubts lingered. Many waited for cracks, others predicted an inevitable end. But love has a way of silencing doubters when it is real. Then came the moment that changed everything. In a setting filled with emotion, sincerity, and intentional love, Bryan Okwara made a decision that surprised many and confirmed what few believed. He proposed to Sonia Uche, not as a reaction to pressure, not to prove critics wrong, but because he was ready. Ready to call her his wife. Ready to build a life with the woman who had worked through storms and still chose love. The proposal was not just a question, it was a statement. A declaration that love can rise from broken pieces. That timing matters. That patience is powerful. That two people can meet at imperfect moments and still create something perfect together. For Sonia, the proposal symbolized more than a ring. It was validation, healing, restoration, a reminder that her past did not disqualify her from a beautiful future. It was proof that choosing herself led her to the right person. For Bryan, it was the fulfillment of a journey that began with support and matured into commitment. He made it clear that ever since Sonia entered his life, everything began to flourish, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. To him, that was the sign that they were meant for each other. Today, what was once doubted is now celebrated. What was criticized is now admired. And what started in silence has found its voice. This story teaches us that love does not need approval to be real. It needs patience, understanding, and two people willing to choose each other despite the odds. Bryan Okwara and Sonia Uche's journey is a reminder that sometimes, the best chapters begin after the most painful endings. As the ring shines and the future unfolds, one thing is clear. This proposal is not just about marriage, it's about growth, resilience, and the courage to love again. What do you think about this beautiful journey? Was the wait worth it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like this video, subscribe for more exclusive celebrity stories, and stay tuned because love stories like this remind us that hope is never lost. I love you.